Hello everyone and welcome back to Bacon. Also welcome back to Chev's Route. The next day we wake up bright and early for the first day of the festival. The palace halls are emptier than usual, many of the staff taking time off to enjoy the festivities. A miniature stage has been erected outside the palace gates. For the last 30 minutes we have all given brief speeches about the prosperity of Angial and our hopes for the future. Rod and I have already given our speeches and are waiting at the back of the stage for Emmeline, who is in the middle of addressing the crowds. As always, she overthought how difficult this would be. Emmeline is the most charismatic of us all. Why would she ever think she was bad at this? Rod shrugs. She gets nervous about disappointing people. We pause as the audience claps and Emmeline curtsies. Sometimes I think about the toll training to be a queen would have had on her. He looks at me thoughtful. You're good under pressure. Emily never has been. Thank you? Rod scoffs. Why do you sound so confused? It was a compliment. Sure about that, buddy? The stage creaks as Emmeline approaches. She sighs softly. I mean, technically it was, yes. Oh, thank gods it's over. Did I sound okay? Of course you did. You got the best reception of any of us. Someone even threw flowers at you. Emmeline shakes her head. Oh no, that was Prince Lance. I did not miss him standing by the front of the stage, beaming at Emmeline the entire time. He was clearly enamored by her. I heard from Mother that he came by to surprise me with the bouquet this morning, but I was already gone. So he threw it at you on stage? Rod sighs. If Chevalier was here, he would make a comment about how romantic this is. It is a good thing that he is not here. Were you less nervous having him in the audience? You know, now that I think about it, yes. Lance said he gets nervous on stage too. He was giving me advice last night. Was he really? Was he? Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, that was kind of him. I bet it was. Cheers from the audience break apart our conversation. The king calls all of us to the front of the stage, and together with Ophelia, we announce the beginning of the festival. Before, I shunned the idea of participating in these speeches and events. Now, looking at all these smiling faces, I cannot help but be glad I am here. My eyes snag on a familiar face in the audience. Chevalier stands at the front waving at me. His most excited pupil, the young boy he saved all those years ago, stands beside him also waving, and looking as if he has not aged at all. Chevalier told me yesterday that recently the boy has been allowed to visit the palace to watch him work. He also clings to Chevalier when we are wandering the town. Chevalier always talks about bringing me out here to spend time alone together, but he is so well liked by others that it is often difficult to find that time. Something about that sentence. Let me try that again. Chevalier always talks about bringing me out here to spend time alone together, but he is so well liked by others that it is often difficult to find that time. Okay, so I want to say also here, and then the very end of this sentence is a little awkward. Got it. I cannot possibly be disgruntled by the situation, though. I can never be irritated that people are warming up to Chevalier. As soon as I am able to, I descend the stage steps and head for Chevalier and his pupil. You are spectacular as always, my lovely princess. As always. Oh dear. The boy parrots the words and laughs, then he looks at Chevalier. I told my ma we'd meet her after the speeches. See you later, Dr. Princess. I thought he was saying Dr. Princess. Not doctor and then addressing the princess. The boy runs through the crowd, leaving Chevalier and I to speak to the amassing crowds. A great townsfolk with handshakes and greetings while Chevalier speaks more conversationally. The minute we have a moment to breathe, I grab Chevalier urgently by the sleeve. I just remembered the magic show. Why did we plan for it to happen so soon after the speeches? I pull Chevalier along before he can protest, but of course he doesn't. He just smiles and laughs, and when I pick up the pace, he loops his arm through mine and begins skipping down the street. I will never get over how cute this could have been. I will never get over just how much they really could have connected. I will never get over how good of a character this guy could have been. And it wouldn't have taken that much tweaking. It really, really wouldn't have. Come one, come all to Her Highness's magic show. His cheer is contagious. Soon I find myself skipping alongside him, trying not to laugh as we trip over each other's feet. It would have been nice to have built her up a little better than that, too, because, again, the personality change in her that's been happening has just not been fitting her character at all. And maybe that's just me, but that's just how I feel about it. Just in the original, the personality change wasn't working, and this overly cheerful goofiness feels like it just kind of came out of nowhere and is forced. The magic show is a huge success. Waltz is ever the charismatic performer. He weaves stories as we perform, talking about a time where witches, fairies, and humans get along. Sin and I take turns performing magic tricks. Though witches and fairies drew their magic from different sources, it was equally vibrant and beautiful, just like you, buddy. They could make flowers bloom. I concentrate on the stage and flowers begin to push through the planks. And change the weather. Senna snaps his fingers and a cool breeze whistles past, bringing with it droplets of water that scatter like rain. And start a warm fire for cold nights. Walt spreads his hands and a bright fire rises before it. What's with his face? The audience gasps as the flames rise without eating away at the wood. The spectators applaud again and again and again until the show is over and we all bow. At the end of it, I am breathless and exhausted and also relieved. No one shrunk away from my magic. No one was scared of me. No, there was nothing but wonder in the audience's eyes. Afterwards, Waltz turns to me and Cinna with a bright smile. You both worked so well together. You were great. Cinna grins. I knew trading together would be a good idea. It wasn't even your idea, bro. I resist the urge to roll my eyes, but I am smiling. Likewise, Waltz. We should do this more often. Again, he's taking credit for Dolores' idea. It was brought up that it was Dolores' idea. In cases like this, even though I think it's funny, he is being kind of overly egotistical, or rather arrogant, when he's taking someone else's idea and being all about it. And no one is really correcting him. They're just kind of fine with him behaving that way. And it's like, how is he gonna be when he's an adult? Is what I'm wondering about. And no one thinks that maybe, just maybe, they shouldn't be encouraging that in him, especially if they didn't do that for Lucette. I just don't know. Waltz blinks at me. More often? He laughs. I would love to have you both appear with me in the future. He raises an eyebrow. Any chance you'll want to continue on to the next performance? My students are performing, but I'd appreciate the backup. No. Cinna shakes his head. They're selling special baked goods today. I want to buy one of everything before they run out. Oh, weren't there cinnamon rolls with a special frosting? Cinna scowls. Maybe. It's not as if I know about that. With a huff and a backward wave, Cinna rushes off the stage and into the crowd. After wishing Waltz luck on his next show, I too leave the stage. I look for Chevalier in the scattered crowds and find him standing by the fountain, talking animatedly with a group of musicians. I just thought about this. Waltz said he has students, so he's teaching magic? Did they say that at the very beginning of the route, that him and Delora are now teaching the younger witches magic and stuff? That's adorable! Yes, that's the piece I'm thinking of, the one with the uplifting music. As I approach, the band begins to play a song. It is a jubilant tune filled with playful chords and soaring vocals. The minute the music picks up, the surrounding crowd begins to clap and cheer, and soon there are citizens dancing in the plaza, hands pressed together as they twirl in place. The sight takes my breath away, and I pause to admire them. I have never seen this kind of dancing before. It is unlike the stiff court dancing I'm accustomed to. There are no steps, only movement, and an intoxicating energy. Gonna save first. Alright, so let's see. Look for Chevalier or join the dance. Well, knowing her, she would want to look for Chevalier first versus joining in the dance. But at the same time, her personality has changed so freaking much. She might just be willing to join the dance. Let's look for Chevalier first. I look up and try to find Chevalier, and I'm startled to see he has disappeared. Where has he gone? I attempt to go looking for him, but it is unexpectedly difficult. The crowd is dense, and all of the movements make it difficult to spot him. I become lost in the crowd and am tossed from one person to the next until finally... Hello, my lovely princess. May I have this dance? Oh no. Was the right decision just to join the dance? I literally just said that her personality had changed so drastically she probably would. Ugh. And I don't know. It's not even that I'm bothered that she would join the dances. Of course not. That's just silly. I'm bothered that they've decided to ignore who she is as a person to force this narrative. Chevalier steps forward, grasping my hand and pulling me to his chest. He smiles at me rakishly. You may. The two of us twirl around each other, fingers laced. I'm assuming you meant for this to happen. The dancing. I saw a band setting up and couldn't resist recommending a song. They play this every year, you know, and I thought that after such an exciting magic show, the audience might want to let out some pent-up energy. I've never seen a dance like this before. Chevalier laughs. It's not special. Really, it's the person you're dancing with that makes it special. The music picks up and everyone's footwork abruptly changes. Before I can adjust, I misstep and trip on Chevalier's foot. But before I can fall... Very cute. Sort of. I am swept off my feet and there are suddenly sturdy hands beneath my legs. You could blame the crowd, technically. But as I recall, isn't she supposed to be, like, really good at dancing? Really good at balance? Really good at kind of paying attention to her scenery, so to speak? Like, she's supposed to be... This is something she's actually really good at. So why is she suddenly just really, really clumsy? Is it because, like, maybe there's cobbles under her feet? Again, maybe it's the crowd. I'm hoping... But she's not really the stumbly while dancing type. But then again, she also said that it was, like, crazier than court dances. I'm just, again, worried that they're finding ways to try to make it to where he is necessary for her, so to speak. And I don't fully appreciate that. Just gotta say. This is very, very familiar. Could you not have grabbed my hand? All this pomp is unnecessary. I can feel everyone's eyes on us. Chevalier just laughs. I suppose I could have, but I think I prefer this. I'm no knight in shining armor, but when I hold you like this, I feel like your hero. Chev, you don't have to be any of those things. I love you just the way you are. Again, so close to cute. So close, and then they just had to mess with his character. But that statement also indicates that that's exactly what they were going for. That's exactly what they were going for, was that they were trying to kind of push him up while also pushing her down. And I don't fully appreciate that. Chevalier's expression morphs, the shock so clear in his face it makes me laugh. What's wrong? You said you love me. You act as if I haven't said it before. Every time you say it, I am shocked anew. I will never ever stop being in awe that you found me worthy of you, princess. Truly, I'm the luckiest man in the world to have you. Yes, you are. At least she has that confidence. I cup his face in my hands long enough to give him a quick kiss on the lips. Chevalier puts me down and I grasp his hand, heedless of the couples around us. In that moment, it is just the two of us, and I can forget the stares of the crowd. And I'm the luckiest princess having you. I hold up my hand. Now, shall I go find a less showy dance partner, or will you dance with me once more? Chevalier beams. I shall be your partner forever and always, princess. I'll hold you to your word. Once again, I lace my fingers through his. This time I do not let go of his hand, and though we are surrounded by people, it feels like we are the only two people in the world, two stars revolving around each other. And I would not have it any other way. Okay. Save. Bum ba bum. The last chapter, Chevalier forever and always. The dining hall is lively this morning, though for an entirely different reason than usual. So, just to be clear, this exchange program you're proposing isn't actually an exchange program. Ha! I think that was obvious, darling. Did he just call Rod darling? Huh. I almost ship it. So why call it an exchange program at all? Because it sounds more educational that way. It is early morning and we're all gathered in the dining hall with the Brigantian princess discussing Rod's impending stay in Brigantia. A few weeks ago, Rod agreed to return to with Claude to Brigantia to begin learning dancing there. I had not realized he was so invested in the art. Now I'm second guessing if I should go. Lance clears his throat. If I can answer any questions to assuage your worries, please let me know, Prince Rod. But I know for a fact my family would love to have you. They are really, really pushing for him to go. Just to get him out of the way so that Lance can openly date Emily without having to worry about Big Brother getting in the way. And I'm going to be honest, I don't wholly appreciate that. I think that's really, really rude. I know I mentioned it last time. I'm going to mention it again. I honestly think that's just a little bit rude. Just a little bit, at least. Naturally, we love to entertain guests. And so the banter continues. I still think Claude looked better in the first game, to be honest. And something about Lance. To be honest, I don't think Lance is as pretty as the other guys in this game. Prettier than Chev, but definitely not prettier than anyone else. So I don't know why he keeps being presented as like this really charming, pretty prince, because the truth is, he looks a little average, to be honest, and I think it might be his nose. Like, the way that his nose curves is a little strange to me. I do appreciate that they were trying to make him look distinctly different from his brother, at least. But yeah, and I'm not an artist, so take anything I say with all the weight of a single grain of rice, but he just... And then, like, his eyes look like they're in an awkward place, too. Like, the shape of them are not awkward, just the placement of them feel a little awkward in comparison to the shape of his face. So the shape of his face, his nose, and the placement of his eyes all just feel a little strange to me. But to me, he's kind of cute, but he's mostly just kind of average. Like, she's definitely prettier than him. I glance across the table at Lance and Emmeline, who are speaking in hushed whispers. Lance has a soft smile on his face and Emmeline is laughing. At least the two of them are subtle and do not serenade each other in the halls. Speaking of serenading, I glance at the entrance. This morning, Chevalier said he had a patient to tend to. He left early, but he has still not returned. I hope he's not running himself dry. That, unfortunately, seems to be something we have in common. Though Chevalier is getting better at managing his workload, the council meetings he now frequently attends only serve to make his schedule more chaotic. I am happy he is mingling with more nobles and participating in more palace events, but I still worry that he is overworking himself. Breakfast tea is served, and by the end of it, Chevalier still hasn't shown up. I have just snuck another glance at the doors when Claude leans over and whispers, "Pining after someone, are we?" Pining is for people who aren't courting someone, Claude. People like you. Why do they keep taking shots in both the original and in this route at Claude? Because if this had been Emmeline, or even Rod, or Ophelia, the King, Waltz, Delora, just anyone who's single or taken, either way, whichever way they want to go, they would not be openly insulting or trying to insult those other people. Why is it just Claude? Again, it just feels too much like they were trying to compare him to Chev, and they're trying to say Chev was clearly the superior one. Can't you tell? Look how nosy, look how rude, look how bratty Claude is. And it's like, I'm not seeing a lot of what you guys are trying to force, just like I couldn't see any kind of chemistry between Lucette and Chev. I don't see Claude as being as rude as what you're trying to indicate he's been, which is why he deserves to be insulted or whatever. I don't see it. I don't freaking see it. You could kill a man with your words, princess. If you are so easily defeated by my words, then perhaps you should invest in better armor for your heart. I stand with a sigh, but for some reason Claude is smiling at me. What? Oh, nothing. I was just thinking about how very much I am looking forward to dinner tonight. See you later, princess. Uh-oh, that's not indicative of anything. He walks off with that strange self-satisfied smirk, leaving me to look after him puzzled. I shake off my bafflement and, after excusing myself, trail him through the doors. No sooner have I stepped outside, however, than I am met by a familiar face. My lovely Lucette. I stumble back, startled. Chev, where have you been? I'm sorry, my sweet. I needed some extra time to prepare some things. I give him a critical look. You said you were handling things with a patient. And I was. I didn't lie. But that doesn't mean I wasn't preparing something else. A surprise for you. Oh dear. I'm getting nervous. Same girl. Same. Ha, don't be my princess. You're sure to love this. Chevalier reaches for my hand. I still have some work to do at the office. Care to assist me? And oh, would you mind if we drop by the tavern before the noon meal? I need to pick something up. I eye him warily, but consent in the end. Hopefully this surprise isn't another baked good named after me. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and save right here. Yep. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I am Bacon, and this so far has been Cinderella Phenomenon, Evermore, Chev's Route. If you like the video, feel free to like the video. If you like me, feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye!